Dope, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Sand then comes flying down at the pair, who would vanish in a second. Each one of them was seen on either side of the tailed beast and began to attack. Sasuke was using the power of the Nine Tails and the Chakra Cloak to enhance his fire release jutsu, and Naruto was using his Tempest release to cut through the sand that was coming his way. More of it then comes towards him and surrounds him in a ball. Sasuke sees this, but smirks, continuing the fight, getting closer and closer to the head where Gaara was, as if he'd let something like that kill him. Stop playing around, Naruto. This is when the sand is blown away by lightning. That was amusing, but why don't we end this? Naruto and Sasuke then appear on the head of the tailed beast, only to see it go to attack the Leaf Village. Each one of them moves to defend their home, taking significant damage from this attack. Naruto looks forward towards Gaara, and he blocks more sand with a wall of lightning and wind. Sasuke, sync an attack with me. Yeah, I've been studying this one attack as the inspiration was you. I was going to use it against you, but I guess this would be a perfect time as well. Sasuke does the hand signs and an arrow of flames then appears. Naruto does the same exact thing with wind and lightning as each shouts out their respective attack names. Flame Phoenix Arrow, Tempest Arrow. The two attacks are then launched at great speeds, causing them to merge into one. That attack would then burst through the center of the tailed beast, as Gaara would then fall to the ground, and his siblings would arrive. Naruto looks towards them, and then back at Gaara, who is asleep. Due to the actions against the Leaf, I'm placing him under arrest. Temari and Kankuro tell him that they won't let him, which caused Sasuke to step beside Naruto, as both of them would then flare their bloodlust and chakra, causing the Sand siblings to see the silhouette of a fox and a wolf behind each of them. Both then prepare, but they couldn't have for this type of battle. Naruto and Sasuke would show no mercy, as each of them, in a blink of an eye, takes down one of the Sand siblings. The Konoha Crush then ends with less casualties and the disbandment of the Grass Village, since Orochimaru was killed by Fugaku and Sakamo. Since the Leaf didn't need another Kage, they would interrogate the Sand Shinobi to further gain information. 2 weeks quickly go by as Naruto continues to have the same strange dreams, but also strange visions as well. One night, as he sits outside the Leaf Village, within it, outside his home, the wind blows so strong that it causes Naruto's head to turn towards the gate. This is where he would announce his departure from the Leaf the next day. His friends and family are shocked that he's leaving, and Sakamo and Kakashi would ask why and if they could go with him. Naruto then says it's something that he has to do alone, but he truly didn't know where he was going himself. It was going to be a strange land where he believes only he could survive. He was going out to find that wolf, and he didn't know when he'd come back. Before he leaves, Fugaku then promotes him to the rank of Chunin, along with many other shinobi. As Naruto stands at the gate of the Leaf Village with a robe on, Sasuke walks up to him. I don't know when you'll be coming back, but when you do, we'll have another battle. Yeah, we will. Just make sure you don't die before then, Naruto. Naruto nods and waves to the rest of them and vanishes from the gate. Naruto allows the winds to guide him, and it leads him to an area in which continuous thunderstorms would happen. Mountains then surround this strange land, and lightning strikes down rapidly here. For some reason, Naruto felt at peace in all this chaos. He felt more at home than anything. The lightning strikes the ground, and Naruto looks towards the mountains in front of him, and he throws off of his hood. He begins to climb this mountain, but is thrown off by the strong winds back to the base. Naruto smirks, wiping off his face and going back up. Lightning then strikes down at him, but he uses his own to clash. From the side, a strong wind attempts to blow him off but isn't able to. This is when we saw Naruto was beginning to glow. As if I'd go down that easy. Naruto then tries to fly up the mountain, but as he gets higher, the wind gets stronger, as they are able to push him back down. How? Just how is that possible? Did you really think you could make it up this mountain without even mastering the power I've given to you? It seems I've wasted my choice in you, Naruto. The wolf then begins to walk up the mountain with ease. The wind doesn't faze it at all, and when the lightning strikes down, the wolf counters without even looking at it. The wolf then turns his head to see that Naruto is following. More lightning then strikes down at Naruto, and he uses a lightning jutsu to counter it. Naruto looks up at the wolf, who then backheels one of its legs, sending a huge wave of wind and lightning that sends Naruto crashing down. Why do you still desire to use hand signs, even though I've entrusted you with the power of the storms? The wolf then runs up the mountain, leaving Naruto in thought while on the ground. He sits up holding his side, realizing that some of his ribs were now broken, as he would also cough up a little bit of blood. Damn it. Now there's no way I'll be able to get up that mountain and meet that damn wolf. I have to get over these mountains somehow and find answers. Naruto then goes to his bag using a med kit that he had to wrap up his body, and he begins to meditate so that he could clear his mind. He thinks of every moment when he used Tempest Release, but he believed he was doing just enough. He believed that he had already mastered the power, but it seems that it was just the beginning. He was only at the surface level still. Learning to use it at will was just the start. He was given much more power than he actually realized. Naruto gets up from where he was meditating and goes to a hill not too far from the mountains. On this hill was a cave, so he would take shelter there for a while. He stands outside the cave near the trees and begins to breathe in and out. If it truly is an extension of my own body, then I should be able to replicate what he has done. Naruto's eyes begin to glow, and a strange aura appears around his body. He pulls back his fist, but it's stopped by the hand of an unknown person. Whoa now, that's dangerous. Not controlling that type of power would surely backfire on your own body. Naruto looks at this figure to see an older woman. Who are you? We can get to that later. Why did you come with me for a while? We can do something about those injuries. Naruto was suspicious, but he decided to trust the woman. She takes him into her home, where he would lay down on a table and is given an examination. What the hell is this, kid? What are you doing all the way out here? I could ask you the same thing, but I came to find a mysterious wolf, believe it or not. The woman then gives a shocked expression. So, another outsider trying to capture the ruler of the skies for his powers. Good luck, kid, because that won't be easy at all. What do you mean capture? I came here to ask him why he's chosen me. The woman turns to Naruto, telling him to lay back down on the table, as she tends to his wounds and tells him to get some rest as she'll be back. She goes far away from the house to a high area where she would kneel to the wolf. My lord, I didn't know you had chosen a new successor. Yes, he is a prodigy, but he needs guidance, as he fully doesn't understand what he's truly capable of. So, would you like me to train him? Yes, that is fine. If he is not able to climb over the mountains in 8 months, then kill him and I will find a new successor. She nods and the wolf vanishes with a gust of wind. She then goes back to see Naruto outside her home doing one-armed push-ups with a clone of himself on his back. This kid is insane. Just what kind of training did he do as a shinobi before he came here? Hey kid, you need to stop that. You have 3 broken ribs. Naruto ignores her and keeps training his body. She decides to go in and get some rest for the night, and when she wakes up and goes outside in the morning, Naruto was still training. His body was covered in sweat, as this is when lightning began to surge around his body. He held out 2 fingers, and he twisted his body around slowly, as this is when lightning began to surge around the tips and shot into the sky. However, right after this, Naruto fell to his knees, and he began to cough up blood as he looks at his hand, and his vision became a little blurry as well. What's going on? This has never happened before. Why? I don't have time to be injured like this. The woman then walks over and stands over Naruto. Your body isn't responding well to the way that you use the elements. Your shinobi principles are blocking you from becoming stronger. So how about I help you out with that? My name is Emi. And you? My name is Naruto Hatake. She smiles, noticing the Hatake name. Your family is quite known. Yeah, they are. And I'll make sure I'm the most known out of all of them for becoming the strongest wind user in shinobi history. She smiles, taking Naruto back inside, and has him rest for a whole week before actually beginning his training. He still has his broken ribs, but they can do light training until then. They go to an area where they would see wind and lightning that was very potent in the style of hurricanes, as she has him meditate here. Close your eyes and envision what I tell you to. What do you see when you think of lightning? I see something destructive that comes in a flash and leaves just as quick. That is only the beginning of it, Naruto. Lightning can be so much more than destruction. What about wind? I see something calm that can also turn into a fury. What do you see when they're combined together then? Naruto tries to imagine it, but he can't. It seems you can't think of something. Tell me, Naruto, why do you choose to only use one of the elements at a time, instead of using them together to truly utilize your Tempest release? Naruto opened his eyes and turned to Emi. He sits in thought before standing back up. He thinks of the hand signs, but she stops him. Sorry, but those won't work for this anymore. Tempest release is something that requires only your will to make it happen. Try to channel both of them at the same time. Emi then backs away from Naruto, who closes his eyes and grits his teeth. His hair begins to rise with the lightning, and wind slowly appearing around his body. Lightning comes up from the ground, but vanishes in an instant, as Naruto then falls to one of his knees, sweating, with the lightning fully vanishing. When you try to channel these two elements, are you making sure that you're using them equally? Or are you focusing on one too heavily? Do you believe the wind is the only thing that will truly make you the strongest wind user? The lightning goes just with it, as they work hand in hand together. Naruto looks at her as she continues to explain before they would continue his training. 4 months go by fast, as we see Naruto meditating within a tornado. Lightning strikes around his body, but his eyes remain closed. Emi was standing next to the white wolf from a distance, watching Naruto and the tornado that surrounded the boy. How is he progressing? He's doing great. His performance is actually scary. He's learned to harness Tempest release with ease and has no drawbacks from the amount of power that he has now. This is when they watch as the tornado around Naruto's body is then compressed into his hands. Emi's eyes would then widen as she's shocked, as this is something that she didn't even teach him. It seems he's even succeeded my own expectations. As they watch Naruto stand in the tornado, his hands then transfer the aura of wind and lightning that would then begin to surround his body. Naruto pulls back his fist, launching it forward, causing wind and lightning to come off in a spiral-like motion and destroy everything around himself. Naruto then looks behind to see the white wolf standing there. So, you've grown past your previous limitations. Naruto stays silent for a moment before speaking. Why me? because you are the one who will help decide the fate of this world. Why is that? There's a threat in the shadows that will cause more destruction than you can imagine. It's up to you to decide what you'd like to do. You already know what I'll do based on who I am. Yes, I've known for quite some time. Tell me something though, Naruto. Do you still believe that you can become the strongest wind user in shinobi history? Yes, with all my heart I will become the strongest wind user. The wolf will then smirk at Naruto as his eyes become red. Show me how badly you want to become the strongest. The wolf then transforms into a human-like form. Naruto stands there, and he would get in a fighting stance. The white-haired man then appears right in front of Naruto trying to punch him, but he barely dodges, and his shoulder is then cut open by the blade step. Lightning is then seen around Naruto's hand as he tilts his head back. The man then regenerated the damage and looked towards Naruto. Good. Get rid of all those silly hand signs. They will no longer be useful to the powers that you've been granted. Feel it rush through your body. Allow the lightning to flow through your veins as an extra boost of strength and speed. All the wind. Allow it to guide you and create a path for your victory. Only when you can see that bright path of wind will you be able to get over those mountains. This is when the white-haired man would vanish in the wind, and Naruto sits there in thought. If the wind shows me a path, I'll follow it, even to the ends of the earth. Naruto goes deeper into the area where tornadoes and hurricanes raged on. He began to train there for another month until one day he has a breakthrough. A brighter, glowing wind begins to guide him through the storms as he runs through, avoiding the wind and lightning. He follows closely, not letting it get away, even for a second. Lightning strikes down in front of him, but everything around him seems to move slow as he follows this sort of strange wind line. He then flips around the lightning that strikes down, and he continues to follow the trail until he makes it to a clear area on the cliff where he would look off. He stands there looking at the sunset as Naruto thinks about his home, promising to become stronger before going back. He turns back around looking towards the mountain as another week goes by as he begins to journey back up. The strong winds at the base have no effect on him as he continues to climb up. Naruto begins to see the trail, but it's dim here. He continues to follow it until it becomes brighter. Lightning continues to strike down at him, causing the mountain to shake. Rocks then begin to fall towards Naruto's head, but they're shattered from his own lightning. Naruto then continues up as the wind path becomes brighter. Naruto then jumps over the next rock only to be shocked by lightning. However, he condenses it into his body to give him a boost in power. Hours later, the bleeding hand of Naruto pulls himself up the mountain. Blood rolled down certain parts of his body, but he had made it. Naruto looks to see Emi and the wolf sitting there, waiting on him. The wolf walks over to Naruto, congratulating him. The rest of your training will be completed here. 2 more years then go by, as within the Leaf Village, a raging storm was happening. However, this lightning was red instead of the usual blue and yellow that they were used to seeing, which was strange to them. It was raining pretty hard, and in the Hokage's office, Sasuke was getting his promotion to head of the Uchiha police force, as this is when the windows were blown open. The windows were then closed, but they all then hear a familiar voice say congratulations to Sasuke, as they turn to the back of the room to see Naruto leaning against the door. Before they could speak, Naruto walked back over to the window. We can't have a celebration like this with this kind of weather. His hands were still in his pockets, but red bolts of lightning then appear around his body, with wind suddenly surrounding them and pushing them into the air fast. Then, as they went into the sky, an explosion would happen, sending shockwaves throughout the village below. This large-scale attack caused the clouds to separate, allowing the sun to then be seen and shine down on the Leaf Village. Sasuke was about to say something, but a kunai was tossed into his hand. It was old and pretty rusty. Sasuke's eyes would widen, realizing this was the kunai that Naruto had placed on the stone faces a long time ago, which means that Naruto believes that he is now the strongest wind user. Sasuke then demands to spar with Naruto to see how far each of them has come in the time that's passed. Sasuke believed he was stronger, but he wasn't confident due to Naruto's short display of his power. Fugaku then sends word to Sakamoto and Kakashi, and the group heads away from the Leaf Village to witness this battle. Both Naruto and Sasuke seem to be very excited, but Sakamoto noticed something different about Naruto. The air around him seems a little off. If I didn't know any better, Naruto had to become an entirely new person in the time that he was gone. The battle begins and Naruto appears right next to Sasuke, who swings his blade, but Naruto dodges this as well. Naruto continuously outspeeds Sasuke, who has no answer for this. Naruto's new speed was amazing, as he was barely visible on the battlefield. Sasuke would activate his Sharingan, and he gets a glimpse of the next attack, and when he manages to clash fists with Naruto, he smiles until he sees Naruto's expression. Why does he look bored? Is he not excited about this fight because of how strong he's become? I won't allow him to make a mock of me in front of my own family. Sasuke then lands a small attack and flips away from Naruto. This is when he enters a one-tailed state, but the expression of Naruto remains the same. Sasuke jumps at Naruto, who blocks with his fist. Tell me, Sasuke, during the 3 years, did you train as if your life depended on it? Or did you train lightly, waiting for the next day to come, knowing that it would come? Naruto then kicks him back and throws off his jacket. He had no shirt under, as they all would see the scars on his body from constantly fighting. I've trained hard enough to declare myself the strongest wind user. Suddenly, winds began gathering around Naruto's body, as so did the red lightning began to appear. Naruto's eyes locked on Sasuke, who seemed to take a step back, but he appeared right next to him, cutting open his shoulder. Before Sasuke could even realize what happened, wind blades began to fly towards him. He uses a fire style jutsu to counter him, just barely blocked him, but Naruto then appears behind him again. Red bolts of lightning and wind would also appear behind Naruto, as Sasuke would quickly enter a four-tailed state, which would allow him to barely avoid the fatal wounds that these attacks would have caused. But this is when his body is surrounded in wind and lightning. It spins him around in the air in a tornado-like form, and he could do nothing about it. Naruto sees the fox cloak slowly vanish from his body as he decides to release him and allow him to fall to the ground. Naruto stands there looking at a hill while Sasuke was staring off at him. Sasuke, you'll know when you can compete with me, when you're able to do this. Naruto pulls his blade from his back and uses Tempest released in conjunction with his blade to then slice an entire hill in half.